Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the second part of our great series of the entire history of war. We continue our discoveries of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia with a bang. In 2650 BC, over 4500 years ago, in Mesopotamia, nowadays Iraq, Aga, king of the city of Kish, is beaten by Mesanepada, king of Ur, and son of Mescalamdung, whose tomb delivered us with this impressive golden helmet, as royal as it gets. But that's not all. The bang I spoke of earlier. We suppose that cavalry appeared at that time under the form of war chariots. Here they are on this amazing work of art, which deserves a like and a sub on itself, that's for sure. It is the Standard of Ur. It's a big wooden chest dated around 2500 BC, apparently under the king Ur-Pabilsag. On it, we can see an army of Ur and its allies defeating some unfortunate enemies. First, on the bottom part, the first ever war chariots, with four full wooden wheels and towed by four onagers, cousins of donkeys because horses were too small back then. They trample the defeated. Two men, one driver and one warrior, ride each wagon, javelins at the ready to be thrown at the enemy. Above, the infantry, with spears and protected with studded mantles and probably leather or copper helmets, follow the king, who wields a primitive bended sword, the harpe. Finally, at the top, prisoners are brought forth before the victorious king of Ur. After his victory over Aga of Kish, Mesanepada of Ur also vanquished Lugalkitun of Uruk and the city of Nippur. 2630, some years later, comes Djoser, pharaoh or horse of the third dynasty of Egypt. This is the time of the Old Kingdom and of the first stepped pyramid built by his vizier Imhotep. Djoser consolidates Egypt's influence over its neighbors, Libya, Nubia, and over the Sinai, bringing riches to his country. 2600 BC, the city of Ur becomes dominant in Sumer, the heart of Mesopotamia, during the time of the legendary king of Uruk, Gilgamesh. Legend has it that Gilgamesh scored several victories over the city of Kish, right here, and you can read the first fiction ever about him looking for immortality. Tell us in the comments if you read about it. Ur-Lugal, or Lugalnemundu, son of Gilgamesh, possibly dominated the lands from River Jordan to the west, where Amorite nomads roamed, to Elam and Gutium in the mountains of Zagros to the east. He could have fought one Migir Enlil of Warashe in Zagros. 2551 BC, end of the reign for Snefru, first ruler of the fourth dynasty of Egypt. He fought in Libya, Nubia, from where he brought thousands of prisoners back into Egypt, and Sinai, building new fortresses at the frontiers, notably Buchen on the Nile. Following pharaohs or horses, Cheops, Didufre, Khephren, and Mykerinos probably also led some military campaigns, and they built the only wonders of antiquity to have survived up to today, the pyramids of Gizeh near Cairo today. During the same time, Mesilim, the king of Kish in northern Sumer, fights Adab and mediates a border conflict between Umma and Lagash about the Gu Edina fertile land between these two cities. Towards the end of Mesilim's reign, Kish will lose influence to Ur and Lagash. And from here to 2520 BC, Lugalansund is king of Mari, northwest of Mesopotamia. He fights Nin Kisalsi of Adab, and thanks to him and his successors, Mari gains temporary influence over Sumer. 30 years later, 2520 BC, is probably the time of the strong king Ur-Nanshe of Lagash, who asserts dominance over a weakened Meskiag-Nuna of Ur and the city of Umma. Quite some time later, 2455 BC, the Sa'd army of Ur is defeated by Hadanish, king of Hamazi, in Elam. Hadanish is probably then repulsed by King Eannatum of Lagash, a Rambo of the time. We know that the conflict between Umma of King Usk and Lagash about the rich Gu Edina land reignites around here. It seems that Usk dies, maybe in combat, which leads to some Rambo action. Here, Eannatum of Lagash gathers his mighty army and marches against Umma, now governed by Enakale. Here we can see that Eannatum leads his men from his four-wheeled chariot, his army consisting of great axes, elite bearers, and the ancestor of the phalanx battle formation. It is very worth noting that this early phalanx is composed of shield bearers at the front and on the flanks, and spearmen visibly wielding their weapon with both hands. The battle between Lagash and Umma is fierce. Enemies are trampled. Rambo Eannatum takes an arrow in the eye but keeps fighting and prevails. This archaeological object is called the Stele of Vultures, as on the right that is missing here, vultures can be seen feasting on the bodies of the fallen. The stele was placed on the new frontier decided by Eannatum between Lagash and Umma, Lagash benefiting from more water of the Tigris River flowing through the Edina, important for fields irrigation. We know that later on, Eannatum had to repulse some Elamite incursions in Sumer by conquering some places on the Persian Gulf. That's enough action for today. Tell us what impressed you the most in this ancient art of warfare in the comments below, and share with us if you know some more peculiar facts about these ancient times. This was The Archivist. See you next time for the invasion of Sumer by the Akkadians.